Hello, this is Nima Goldboy on KUCI 88.9 Irvine, back on Cinéshow from Wednesday 4 to 5. So, the movie I watched this week, like I said actually in our last episode, was the first Avengers film. So we're going to be doing that film, and as well as I got a lot of BuzzFeed quizzes like queued up here, and they're not just like movie information quizzes. They're like fun quizzes, like which Avenger are you, or there's one that's like what's your soulmate, what Avenger is your soulmate, which I'm a little bit worried about because it's like, I know these quizzes, you're gonna get someone you don't want. It's gonna be weird, but we'll try it. Let's see, what else quizzes do I have? Okay, so which Marvel character do you relate to the most? And then I have this one that's like, it creates an origin story for you. So we can do that, and then maybe we will do like an actual quiz based on the movie, and then I probably should like review it a bit. But let's do this one. This Marvel quiz knows your superpower and origin story would be. So the first question is, what is your first name? So I'm going to put in my name, which is Nima. Pick an element: earth, air, water, or fire. Earth, air, water, fire. I would say I like water and fire both a lot. Air and earth, those are bad. I've always liked water. I like rivers, but I also like campfire. I'm gonna go with fire. How do you prefer to spend your free time? Reading, traveling, hanging out with loved ones, people watching, nothing, to be honest, or eating. Well, eating is pretty good. Just gonna say eating, I guess. Hanging out with, I guess I'll just say hanging out. Which environment do you prefer? A city, the countryside, the desert, the beach, the jungle, somewhere snowy? Well, I like cities a lot, but I also do like the countryside. I'm just gonna do the city. How do you express your creativity? Physical activity like sports or dance? How do you express creativity in sports? I see how dance you can express creativity, but like I play hockey, so I don't understand how that would work. Cooking definitely not. I'm not a creative cook. I can't like come up with anything new. I just like good food. Crafting or DIY, I do not do any of those. Music, I can't make music to save my life. Writing, I'm not good with creative writing. I can't make stuff up. And art, I also can't do. This is a hard one because none of these apply. I'm just gonna say, I'm just gonna like pick a random one. I'm gonna close my eyes and just click. Oh crap. Okay, I clicked music, which is definitely not true, but that's what I picked. What is your approach to problem solving? I confront the issue head on and am not afraid of arguments. I analyze the situation carefully and strategize the best course of action. I avoid conflict and seek peaceful resolutions. I adapt my approach as needed and think outside the box. I collaborate with others and seek input from different perspectives. I break down complex problems into smaller, manageable tasks. Probably not the last one. It's probably like either confront the issue head on and am not afraid of arguments, or analyze the situation carefully and strategize the best course of action, or yeah, I'm just gonna say I analyze the situation carefully and strategize the best course of action. Pick one: the mind, the body, the soul, or the heart. I don't know. They all have their own thing to offer. But I'm thinking in the context of being a superhero, I would probably be the body, because I would like to have superhuman strength. Pick an animal companion: a cat, a dog, a duck, a monkey, an elephant, or a dragon. Dragon sounds cool. I'm going to pick a dragon. What do you value the most in a relationship? Humor, intelligence, understanding and empathy, flexibility and adaptability, loyalty, or shared interests? They're all good. That's the problem with these quizzes. They're all good. I'm just gonna go with like shared interests, maybe. Lastly, pick a color: yellow, blue, red, or white. Definitely not yellow or white. Red or blue. My favorite color is red, but blue is also one of my favorites, but I'm just gonna pick red. Okay, that is the quiz here. It says to wait 10 seconds and it will give me my power. 2 seconds. We found your Marvel superpower. Show me, please. So my name is Harmony Beat, so that's clearly because I clicked music, so that is really bad so far. I have the ability to control and manipulate sound waves. I love it. They just picked the music thing and just based it all on that. Origin story: Nima was a talented musician who loved spending time with loved ones in the bustling city. After a tragic accident left them with heightened senses, they discovered they could use music to solve problems and bring harmony to the world, becoming Harmony Beat. They use their analytical mind to control sound waves and create peace wherever they go. Well, this is definitely a comic book that would bomb. So we're going to move on from that. That was pretty disappointing. That was not a great quiz. Okay. Everyone has one Marvel character that they relate to the most. Answer these questions to reveal yours. Pick your favorite color: red, orange, green, or brown. Never been a fan of green for some reason, unless it's like the right shade. It's kind of like a darker one, so that's going to be out. Brown, I've never considered that a favorite color. Red and orange, those are probably my top 2 favorite colors, but I'm going to pick orange. Pick a relaxing activity: reading, working out, watching TV, or cooking. Explain to me, how is working out relaxing? Isn't that the opposite? Reading is also not really relaxing to me. Not at all. So, can't be those two. Watching TV, see, that's relaxing. And also, how is cooking relaxing? Cooking is not relaxing at all. Cooking is frustrating. Watching TV is obvious. What word would you use to describe yourself? Thoughtful, smart, difficult, or nervous? I don't like to toot my own horn, but difficult, I'm definitely difficult, that's for sure. I'm not going to pick smart or thoughtful. I'm just going to pick difficult. Who do you look up to? Yourself, my aunt, my sister, my coworkers. I don't have any coworkers. I don't have a sister. I wouldn't say my aunt, so I'm going to say myself. Look at that. That is very narcissistic. But, they didn't give me any good choices. Pick an animal. A puppy, a snake, a cat, or a frog. Definitely a puppy. What do you do after a bad day? Rage, act bitter, plot revenge, forgive and forget. I don't know. I'm just gonna say rage, probably. Pick a fantasy weapon. Blade, sword. Okay, it says blade and sword. How are those different? So blade, sword, magic, or a sharpened stick. Either sword or magic. I'm gonna pick magic. Lastly, pick a sweet snack. Popsicle, cake pop, licorice, or donuts. I do love a good donut. I'm gonna pick a donut. I'm Doctor Strange. So it says, I relate more to Doctor Strange. You work better when you're independent and are less of a team player than people expect from you. You know what? Not a bad quiz. I actually do relate a little bit to Doctor Strange for some reason. At least in the first movie. I mean, I don't even really know what the second movie was. But yeah, I would say I do relate a little bit to Doctor Strange. Oddly. Maybe because he kind of like... I don't know why, really, but he's got like... He's just really cool. And I guess I want to be cool too. Also, maybe... I don't know, but I would say it's true. Alright, which Avenger is your soulmate if you answer these seemingly random questions? Choose a favorite color. That's always their first question. Blue, gold, green, red, purple, silver, red. Which dog would you want to keep you company? Labrador, Chow Chow, Border Collie, Corgi, Cavalier, or Rottweiler? I really like baby Rottweilers. I think they're really cute. I do like those Chow Chows too. I'm gonna go based on picture. The Rottweiler in this picture is pretty cute, but I would say second would be a Chow Chow. Which school subject was/is your favorite? American history, science, PE, math, geography, or cooking? Well, cooking was not. Neither was geography, so those two are out. Not that they would even be my favorite. And I hated science, so that's out. So American history, math, or PE. It's definitely American history. I love American history, but I do like math a lot. I liked calculus and pre-calculus a lot. I had great fun in those classes. American history was great. And here's the thing about PE. I always was like, yeah, I'm excited for after my senior year. I'm going to be able not to take PE anymore because I complete the requirements. I can have a free period. But ever since I got rid of PE, I always missed it. It was always fun, especially our last year. We did a lot of badminton and that was like really fun. I liked PE. In the end, at least. In middle school, it was really boring. All we did was like run nonstop. We didn't like do anything except 1 year. I think it was with Mr. Schofield. Shout him out. We did like a lot of games. Like we played football, and then I think Mr. Lamott. We played volleyball. That was more fun. PE is no fun if you just run all the time. But let's go with American history. Maybe I'll be Captain America because I said favorite color is red, and I like American history. Oh wait, this is who is your soulmate, not who are you. Well, this is gonna be awkward. Choose a food to eat when you're hungry. Apple pie, shawarma. What is that? Iron Man? Iron Man says that in Avengers. Tacos, peanut butter and jelly sandwich, burger, or Pop-Tarts. I would say this is a landslide in the favor of a burger. I made a huge mistake today. I ate 2 burgers, and I'm kind of regretting it. Like, it was way too much food. They were like big burgers too, and I ate 2 huge bits of fries. So it was really a lot of food, but picked burger. Okay, a place to go on a vacation. Brooklyn, New York. Sorry. England. England is amazing. India, Spain, Iowa, or New Mexico. This says New Mexico, and it's like I think that's a picture of Chicago. I can't really tell because it's a dark picture. But that ain't New Mexico. I don't know. Definitely not Iowa and New Mexico. Spain. I've been to Spain. It's a nice country. It's not that up on my list though. India, no, I don't want to go there. England, I love England. I think England's a great place. And Brooklyn, I mean, I love New York, but I don't really know about Brooklyn. I don't really have a desire to go to Brooklyn in particular, so I'm going to pick England. And finally, choose a profession you'd most enjoy. Soldier, engineer, teacher, spy, farmer, or electrician. Farmer, no, I wouldn't enjoy that. Electrician, no. Soldier, I don't mind that at all. Teacher, I would like to be like a teacher for a year, but I don't think I'd want to be a teacher for life, or any time longer than like a few years. Spy or engineer. Engineer, no. Either a soldier or a spy, and I'm gonna interpret this to mean like a spy, like James Bond, not like one of those spies that just sits in a computer. Hey, look, I got lucky. Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow. Oh, that's because I picked spy. Ha. And her hair's red, I bet. Yeah, I was worried it was gonna be like, your soulmate is Bruce Banner or something like that. Wow, this was a really good quiz. Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow. Your soulmate is the world's greatest assassin. Much like Natasha, you're known to be mysterious as you keep your heart close to your chest. You're fierce, strong, and intelligent. Well, thank you, quiz. That's very kind of you. Which Avenger are you? The next quiz. This is going well. And by the way, this next quiz is definitely interesting. What is the biggest problem in the world today? Pollution, racism, corrupt politicians, terrorism, sexism, out of control capitalism, poverty, misuse of technology, or too many miscreants. Well, I would say objectively it's probably poverty, which is perhaps explains a lot of the other ones on this list. So we go to poverty. Choose a color: blue, red, yellow, green, turquoise, purple, black, white, or brown. I'm gonna go with red again. What is your secret weakness? Very stubborn, loose grip on reality, lie too much, I have anger issues, I trust people too easily, I'm very impatient, inferiority complex, I have trouble reading other people, I'm a little bit arrogant. And then there's an all of the above. Imagine that. I would say I'm definitely a guy that can be impatient. That's for sure. So I'm going to pick that. Choose a famous musician: Drake, Beck, Kanye West, Bruce Springsteen, David Bowie, Rihanna, Jay-Z, Lars Ulrich, or Beyonce. Well, none of these people I really follow very much, like in terms of their music. There's like a few songs I like from Drake and Kanye, and I think there's like one I like from David Bowie. So I'm just gonna pick between those three. Probably Kanye is the most. Let me think. Let me search up like some David Bowie songs so I can. So Starman, I know that song. And I don't know the name of the other ones. So I'm just gonna go with Kanye West. Where do you want to go to relax? Bar, gym, yoga retreat, beach, never relax, spa, Apple Store, countryside, or luxury resort? Probably a resort. What matters to you most at the end of the day? Family, honor, peace, knowledge, justice, order, respect, faith, love. I don't know. There's a lot of things I like on that list. I'll go with faith. Which Avenger would you like to make out with? Wow, these are really sus. Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Scarlet Witch, Hawkeye, War Machine, Black Widow, or The Vision. We're going to go with Black Widow for sure, and that's my soulmate. Oh, dang it, I got the Falcon. Oh, he's like my least favorite character. Well, I'm going to reject this list. It's fake. And I'm going to say I'm Iron Man. Yep. I don't like Falcon, so we're going to ignore this list. Now, question, do we take more quizzes, or do we talk a little bit about the movie? We're about at the halfway point here. Let's see, I'm looking through some other quizzes. Let's see if I see anything good here. Alright, let's do this. It's who will win in a fight, and then I'll review the movie a bit. 1 second. Okay, so who will win, Black Panther or Kingpin? I don't even remember who Kingpin is for some reason. And obviously it's Black Panther. Who will win, Moon Knight or Caecilius? Caecilius is the guy from Doctor Strange, played by Mads Mikkelsen. A bit of a wasted character. He was a little... That movie has like an amazing origin story, and it's like a really perfect start, but like by the end it kind of tapers off. It's like a little... I don't want to say the ending is definitely anticlimactic, but I guess it's just the story and the characters aren't that interesting beyond Doctor Strange himself. I haven't seen the Moon Knight, but I'm gonna say Caecilius. Okay, so only 28% of people agreed with me. Who will win, Captain Marvel or Titiana? I don't know who she is, but obviously Captain Marvel is like Superman, basically. Who will win, Thor or the Mandarin? Obviously Thor. Who will win, the Hulk or Namor? Oh god, Namor was the worst. Oh, it was such a bad villain. I hate that guy so much. He's so lame. He was like a fish from Black Panther. That was Black Panther 2. That was a terrible movie and a terrible character. Hulk. Who will win, Red Skull or Black Widow? I mean, come on. It's got to be Red Skull. What? People say Black Widow? How? I mean, Black Widow's just a spy. Who will win, Iron Man or Arthur Harrow? I don't even know who that is. Oh, he was in Moon Knight. See, they added all these lame characters. Iron Man. Who will win, She-Hulk or Mysterio? I'm going to say She-Hulk, probably. Who will win, Miss Marvel or Ghost? Two characters I know nothing about. I'm going to say Ghost. Who will win, Ant-Man or Whiplash? So Whiplash was that guy from Iron Man 2 with the... I don't like Ant-Man. I like him, like, humor-wise. Well, no, I do like Ant-Man. That's not fair. I just don't like his movies. Probably No, I'm gonna go with Whiplash. Okay, I guess not. Who will win, Shang-Chi or Najma? I don't know who these people are. Shang-Chi, probably. Who will win, Gore the God Butcher, who was in... It was in Thor, right? And then Scarlet Witch. Well, Scarlet Witch is supposed to be really powerful. Who will win, Hawkeye or... Oh, Jesus. Jan Vogue, who is the guy from Captain Marvel, who was played by Jude Law. Well, Hawkeye is just a guy with a bow, so I can't be Hawkeye. I'm gonna go with Jan Vogue. Okay, I guess I was wrong about that too. Who will win, Captain America or Taskmaster? Who are these people? Captain America, I'm going with. Who will win, Thor or Abomination? I'm gonna go with Thor. Who will win? Oh god, Agatha. They're just like putting in these really obscure characters from shows that nobody cares about. Agatha Harkness or Doctor Strange? I'm just gonna go with Doctor Strange. Who will win, Spider-Man or Loki? Most likely Loki. Oh, that was the whole quiz. Alright, let's talk about the movie for a bit. So, Avengers #1 was released in 2012, and to my knowledge, I watched this in theaters, I believe. And it holds up really well. So, I always like to kind of start with the direction / CGI. So, the CGI in this movie is really well done, and by and large looks either the same or, if not, much better than the stuff that they're making today, because of the simple fact that they don't put effort into it anymore. As well as having some like really good, sort of more contained action set pieces that use like more practical effects. Like there's this one part in the Battle of New York where like I don't really even know how it happens, but I think a bunch of missiles hit these cars, and it's done all without CGI, and it looks really good. And then there's the part where Hulk is chasing Black Widow through this hallway, and it's also very good. It was directed by Joss Whedon, who later went on to make Justice League, which I believe most people agree was a disaster. Although, sadly, I never really saw the Snyder Cut, but as I understand, that was good. So Avengers #1 starts off where basically S.H.I.E.L.D. is like studying the Tesseract and trying to conduct like tests on it, and it's going wrong. And the only reason they have the Tesseract is because it was buried with Captain America and they found it. So Loki opens a portal there. He basically steals it and takes Eric Selvig and Hawkeye in his like trance where he controls them. And then basically the team gets together. They capture Loki. They go on the flying aircraft carrier. The team meets up. And this is like one of the most solid parts of the movie, and just like parts of the phase 1 through 3 in general, like while they're on this aircraft carrier. It's a great way to like build actual chemistry between like the team. So they're not just their powers, like you got their backstories and their competing worldviews. Like sort of Captain America and Iron Man are like always at each other's throats, and they have like the perceived rivalry, and some of that is because of like Tony Stark's father knew him, I guess, and he may be sort of jealous of him in a way. And then I would say somewhat similar with Steve Rogers. Maybe not jealous, but he's like overly judgmental and critical. And then we got like the main tension builder, which is the Hulk, who eventually is provoked by Loki's team to rip up the ship and attack everybody. And there's a great action set piece. And then that basically Agent Coulson dies, and that prompts the team to galvanize around each other and go defend New York. There's a great action set piece, and yeah, that's the movie. It's a really solid film. I'd give it like a 9.2 out of 10. It's a really nice movie. Amazing cast: Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson, Jeremy Renner, Mark Ruffalo, Chris Hemsworth, Tom Hiddleston, and Samuel L. Jackson. Those are the great actors in this movie. It's like, it's not as, how do I say, it's more simple than the other 3 Avengers films, and it's definitely, it's like way more self-contained, but it's like a really, really good movie, and it's one of those films that you can just watch over and over and it never gets old, which is true for the other Avengers films, but not to the same level as this one. This one, because it's like less dependent on other films, you can just keep watching it. All the action's really nice. Like I said, CGI is really good. There's great humor in this film. It's really well written. It's funny. It's tense. It's got everything you would want in a superhero film, or just like an action film in general. And also this was like the culmination film of phase 1, where we got to see like Iron Man, Thor, Captain America be introduced in their own films, and then we got to see them team up here, and it's great fun to watch. It's really a really nice movie. And yeah, I was actually gonna say, so the news is, and I just want to confirm it before I say it, because I want to make sure that it wasn't just like a Twitter rumor. Okay, so the Russo brothers, who, if you don't know, they made like Endgame, Infinity War, Winter Soldier, Civil War, and like maybe another one or two. But they're like the goats of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They've done great stuff. They're really talented. And according to Hollywood Reporter, IGN, everybody's saying that they are in talks with Marvel to do the next two Avengers movies. So I have some thoughts about this. So, on its face, this is a very good thing, and I'm very encouraged to see that Disney may be trying to correct ship here. Maybe they're trying to like deliver quality films, and maybe they're done with all this garbage writing and just garbage films they're making, and maybe they're trying to like really correct the ship. But here's my concern. It wasn't just that the Russo brothers were really good. It was that everything that had come before them in like phase 1 and 2 was solid. So my concern is how can they be so good to make us care about their Avengers movies as we did for Endgame and Infinity War, which was built up over a long period of time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just have like no build up to these MCU films, because there is no build up in the new films. They barely have stories, and they don't really build on each other, and they're quite low quality, especially compared to the other stuff. But anyways, this is a very good development, and it could save this whole franchise from complete death if they get it right. And maybe this means they will have influence over the next films. Maybe they'll try to correct mistakes. I don't know. They are talented people, and I really hope they get this and they can do it, because they were definitely like the golden age of the MCU. Yeah, so I'm looking at their list. They did Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame, which many people, when you ask them like, oh, what's the best, or what's your top 5, every single one of those movies are in most people's top 5. Winter Soldier, Infinity War, Endgame, and Civil War. Yeah, like that's in my top 5. So they made like the 4 best films they made, probably. Alright, so that's that. We got about 20 minutes here. What should we do? We can probably do a quiz for Avengers number 1. So let's pull that up. Avengers 1 quiz trivia. Alright, here's a BuzzFeed one. So only a huge fan can get 14 out of 18 correct on this first Avengers movies quiz. So I watched this a few days ago, so I should be able to ace this. What is the first line of the movie? The Tesseract has awakened. How bad is it, sir? What's the problem? The Tesseract is ready. Well, that's hard. It's either how bad is it, sir, or the Tesseract has awakened. I'm gonna go with how bad is it, sir. Nope. The Tesseract is awakened. I knew it. Who is the first recognizable character we see the face of? Nick Fury, Loki, Tony Stark, Agent Coulson, Maria Hill, Pepper Potts. Fury? It's Agent Coulson. This is a really hard quiz. What is the first Avenger we see? Iron Man, Thor, Romanoff, Hulk, Hawkeye, Captain America. It's not Thor, we know that. Oh wait, no, I know this. It's Hawkeye. That's obvious. What is Steve doing when we see him? Running, looking at old photos, listening to the radio, or boxing? Boxing. When Steve says nothing will surprise him, how much does Fury bet him he's wrong? $5, $10, 20, or 50? It's 10, he says. $10 says you're wrong, I'm pretty sure. Yep. How much credit does Tony think Pepper deserves for Stark Tower? 12%, 50, 97, or 22? It's 12. What is Coulson's first name? Bill, Will, Phil, or Dill? Phil. What is the first reference that Steve doesn't get? Oh, that's a hard one. Oprah, Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, or Hawking? Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking. What's the name of Loki's army? The Outsiders, the Chitauri, the Black Order, or the Skrull? It's the Chitauri. This is the... Oh, sorry. Reading the wrong thing. How many minutes into the movie before Thor shows up? So these are difficult. 13, 24, 43, 52. My gut says 24. It's got to be 24. Maybe 43. Oh, it's 43. Huh. That's pretty late. What band is on Tony's t-shirt for the majority of the movie? Aerosmith, Black Sabbath, Duran Duran, or AC/DC? I think it's AC/DC. Oh no, it's Black Sabbath. Oops. Which character is sent to get info from Loki? Natasha, Thor, Coulson, Steve. It's Natasha. Which character is sent... Oh, sorry. That's the same one. The Avengers discover S.H.I.E.L.D. using the Tesseract to create weapons of mass destruction. Fury says it's because of the events of which prior MCU film? Incredible Hulk, Iron Man, Thor, or Captain America the First Avenger? He says it's because of Thor, because they were invaded by aliens. Specifically Loki. Who gives the order to close the wormhole? Steve, Thor, Fury, Natasha. It's Captain America, so Steve. Who catches Tony when he falls from the wormhole? Bruce, Thor, Steve, or Clint? It's the Hulk, so Bruce Banner. Stan Lee gives a cameo as someone being interviewed on the news about the attack. What does he say? I don't exactly feel safe with those freaks out there. Where are these guys now? Superheroes in New York, give me a break. Or it's really great knowing they're out there. He says superheroes in New York, give me a break. What is the last line of the movie, not including a post-credits scene? They'll come back. What was the point of all this? A statement, a promise. Every world knows it because we'll need them to. Probably the promise one. Oh no, it's because we'll need them to. That makes sense. Which villain do we meet in the post-credits scene? I think it was Thanos. Yeah, it has to be Thanos. Oh man, I got 13 out of 18. I was one away from what it said I should get. If I'm a fan, a huge fan. Well, you know what? That's totally wrong. Alright, well, I'm pretty exhausted, I'm not gonna lie. I was asleep like an hour ago. Not an hour ago, but like an hour and a half ago. I was just really tired. And I ate 2 massive burgers like I was telling people about. I also went biking today and I got this fly stuck in my eye and I was trying to, I think it was stuck in my eye when I was sleeping and I went to go wash it out and I'm pretty sure I have gotten it out by now, but I could barely open my eye for some reason and I was worried about driving. I was like, I might not be able to keep the eye open. That's the one thing I really, really don't like about biking. Getting a bug stuck in your eyes is pretty bad. It's not something that I can recommend, for sure. Let's think. What should we do here? Okay, let's review some IMDb lists. So this is from a guy named Chaos FN, sorry. He created this list of the MCU movies ranked. So let's look through this. So number 1, he puts Infinity War. I would say that my favorite is probably Endgame, followed by Infinity War, but they're almost exactly the same. But strangely, this guy puts Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 as the second best MCU movie. That's pretty shocking. I never saw it, but I highly doubt it's the second best. Endgame is number 3, which I agree with. Then he puts Guardians of the Galaxy number 1 as number 4. Still a little bit high. Spider-Man No Way Home, definitely pretty high, but definitely a really good film. That was the best they made in the new Disney. Well, I guess it's all Disney, but post-Endgame stuff. For number 6, he puts Captain America Civil War. Yes, very good. Definitely way better than Guardians of the Galaxy or Spider-Man or Volume 3. He says Avengers number 7. Yeah, very good. Winter Soldier number 8. Yes. Iron Man number 1. Yes. Guardians number 2. I wouldn't put that high. Thor Ragnarok, yeah, very good. Black Panther is pretty good. Doctor Strange, yes. Homecoming, good. Shang-Chi, no, I definitely would not put that high. I'm just gonna skip all the ones that are from past Phase 3 because I don't believe they compare, and also there's some of them that I haven't seen, so. Age of Ultron. I like Age of Ultron. Ant-Man should be way lower. Spider-Man Far From Home. Okay, so he puts Captain America the First Avenger number 20. I find that to be very underrated. I really like that movie. I find that movie to be really underrated. It's 100% in the top 10. I don't know. It's very high in terms of MCU films. Maybe higher than top 10, like top 7. Iron Man 3. Oh my god. This person put Black Panther 2 above Thor. Let's just ignore that. Ant-Man and the Wasp, pretty terrible. Thor number 1, underrated in my opinion. Iron Man 2. Simple movie. Not too good, not too bad. Captain Marvel, yeah, should be pretty low. But this guy put Dark World below Captain Marvel. That's dumb. And that's all. We're basically coming up on the end here. Sorry I had a little less energy today. Like I said, I was kind of taking a nap before this episode. I'm just a bit tired. But nonetheless, it was a pretty good show. It wasn't as fun as our other show from last week. But next week, I definitely will have seen something to talk about, and that's my promise to the good folks that watch my show. So that's been Nima Golbabai on KUCI 88.9 Irvine Cinéshow with you to the end of the line.